Hey everybody, Chris here. Welcome on a Monday afternoon. How's everybody doing? Yeah, a lot of red in the market today. We're going to talk about that. What's going on? Doge drops again. Bitcoin down even more, below 60K. We could even see $58,000 Bitcoin tonight, the way things are going. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about Doge, X payments. We've got some other things in the market. And of course, zooming out and looking at the bigger picture, because that's what we do. You get so focused in on exactly what's happening at the moment, you forget to zoom out and say, wait, are we still following the whole 4-year cycles? Is that still in play? There's a lot of bears out there that say Bitcoin topped in March and it's all down from here. I don't believe that. And if you saw my video yesterday about Raoul Pal and his liquidity cycle, the things that are coming up, most likely this fall, would lead to liquidity coming into the crypto market. So I'm still betting on that, which is why I made my video this morning on a bounce coming up. And this is just temporary. Pullbacks happen with Bitcoin. We've seen it in bull markets in the past. And we've shown that on the charts in the past, where we've seen 20, 30% Bitcoin pullbacks during a bull market, which I think we're still in. So that is the overall message, but we'll get into all the details too. So let me drop down here. We'll see what's going on in the market. Doge now at 11.6. Bitcoin dropped down to 59.4. See, earlier this morning when Bitcoin had its drop, it's now lower than where it was on that initial drop, meaning very negative sentiment throughout the day on Bitcoin. But Doge is higher than the drop that it had early this morning, which is kind of interesting that it's Bitcoin, the one throughout the day, dropping more, which points to Bitcoin selling, most likely another bad day of the spot ETFs. So for those who are waiting for Dogecoin to drop down lower so you could buy in at a lower price, as we've said week after week, is this the time? 11-cent Dogecoin now. Yeah, we'll be looking at that. So that's where we start today. Just looking short term on the charts. We'll get to the long-term view. We'll get to the news and all of that. How are you guys doing? For those who are watching on a video replay, you weren't here for the live, meaning you can't ask me questions and interact. You can always drop a comment below, but it's more fun to be here in the chat, taking part with your fellow Doge-loving chatmates and anybody else who's here as well. So yeah, hey Samuels, how are you? I feel like Obi-Wan on Mustafar. Doge, you were supposed to be the chosen one. You're supposed to destroy the memes. Yeah, we are stuck there. Hey Matt, how are you? Robert Kosaki from Rich Dad Poor Dad. Passive income is not taxed, unlike portfolio and earning. In the United States, any income is taxed. So I don't know what he could have been talking about. You get taxed. You have income, you're taxed. So unless you've got, you've got deductions, right, that can offset taxes. But if you have income in the United States, it's taxed. Not an accountant, not a tax lawyer. AC went out last night, 95 degrees, waiting on the HVAC guys to get here. Wish Doge was this hot. Oh, tough day. Tough day for that air conditioning to go out when you're in the heat dome, the heat wave. That's a tough one. Yeah. Sorry about that, man. Hey, Rowan, how are you? Greetings from the Netherlands. Good evening there. A little further down than sideways, but again, we'll look at that. We'll zoom out in a minute. Crypto investors need to be bottle fed nonstop with YouTube videos to keep themselves hopeful. Just hold. Yeah, we're in a bull market. It happens. Exactly. That's my feeling of this. And it's also crypto investing, which is mostly more volatile than you have for stocks. And if you can't withstand a drop, maybe you shouldn't be investing in crypto. If this is freaking you out, just look at the history of what has happened before and all the pullbacks, big pullbacks that have happened. And crypto always turns around and trades up higher for the most part, unless you're into some small cap token or something that is going to have extreme selling. So be careful out there. Jasmine. Well, Fondue, Jasmine actually is holding up okay, 2.86. So instead of that big drop following Bitcoin down, when Jasmine came down, it just turned around and it's trading sideways now. I know it's under 3 cents. 3 cents was kind of a big number, but it's not bad. And when you zoom out and you look at like the 4-hour chart here we were on Friday down at 2.7. So we're higher than that. We're higher than that for Jasmine. Now, we had this massive run up, of course, end of May into June. And so there was profit taking and sell off there. But we started to recover over the weekend. So this is just another retracement there. That's not bad compared to what Doge looks like on the 4-hour chart, which is just dropping lower. So, yeah. I had 12.5 cents as a support line, and it was trying to hold it over the weekend. It was trying really hard. But no. So that's where we are right now. Hey, Jason, buying the dip all day. Joe, I buy, spend my monthly allowance, and then it dips deeper. Yeah. Yeah, once we get through all of this, you'll be looking back and you'll be glad you bought when you did. You can't always time the market, and you don't always know when the dips might get a little dippier. But that's what we got. But cheers, my man. Do I think the U.S. debate on Thursday will affect crypto? No. They're not even going to talk about crypto, I don't think. I don't think that is going to be something that's going to be discussed. Although there is rumors that Donald Trump may attend the Bitcoin Nashville conference this weekend or this summer. So that would be interesting if he went to the Bitcoin conference. But no, I don't think CNN has any Bitcoin questions lined up for the debate. So I don't think there's anything that's going to happen during the debate that's going to affect crypto markets at all. Hey, Emma, welcome. Trey, what happened with the Doge satellite launches? We'll see. Maybe by the end of the year, there might be something, but have not heard an update. Some say no alt season, Vigard. I still think there will be an alt season. We will see it. This is just temporary pullback like we see every bull market cycle. You can go back to 2020, you can see the same thing. You go back to 2016, You can see the same thing. Here we are in 2024, still on the 4-year cycles. There are pullbacks. We're in a pullback. That's it. That's it. Why pull back today? Mt. Gox repayments finally coming next month. Maybe, probably, reportedly. And as I posted on X Twitter this morning, it's like, so there wouldn't be any selling of this Bitcoin until July, according to the reports. But the price of Bitcoin goes down now in fear of the July selling. Okay. Isn't crypto investing great? Now, I would think that if the people who have had their coins locked up in that whole Mt. Gox thing for 10 years, once they get their coins and they start selling, then the price would go down. But a month away and the price is going down in fear that there's going to be the selling. And we don't even know if it's even going to happen. Right? This has been said before. This isn't the first time we've heard this. But hey, that's what happens in crypto, right? But what does a dip like that do? Liquidations, as I showed on my video this morning, big liquidations, big drop. Here's the liquidation chart, $150 million in Bitcoin long liquidations, $150 million. All that leverage trading getting wiped out. Excuse me there. So, and what happened with Doge on this? Well, we had, again, early this morning was the biggest hour of liquidations, over $100 million in liquidations in 1 hour across all cryptos, but they've continued through the day. More and more liquidations continued through the day. So, yeah, the Mt. Gox story here. So, the former Bitcoin exchange Mt. Gox announced that repayments of Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash to creditors will begin in July 2024. 142,000 Bitcoin, 143,000 Bitcoin Cash. So founded in 2010, Mt. Gox handled 70%, according to this article, not 90, 70% of all Bitcoin sales at the time. So 90 might have been another number that was floating around somewhere. I don't know, low roller, but this article says 70, 90, a lot, right? More than half. That's right. More than half of the Bitcoin that was being bought and sold on exchanges was through Mt. Gox. So when there was the big, oh God, when there was the big hack on the Mt. Gox platform, that was bad. That was really, really bad. So yeah, we will see. We'll see how this plays out. We certainly have no threats of big Mt. Gox things, that type of hack anymore. Some smaller exchanges do continue to get hacked, though. We saw one over the weekend where a lot of Avalanche was being sold off. So AVAX price went down of some hack. So it still happens. It still happens. So there's the Mt. Gox thing, which leads to a big drop in price. We have the liquidations. We've got, last week we had the ETF outflows all week long. Don't know what today says, but most likely on today, probably outflows again. would be my guess, because we saw Bitcoin continuing to sell today. That's not a pretty chart. Not a pretty chart. So, oh, God. Why do you do this to me, dude? So that's what's going on overall in the market, led by Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the one that's been leading all of this. Doge and others have followed. There have been a few that did well. Spell token was trading well earlier. It's now turned around a bit. But not all coins have this big drop here. I mean, look at Solana, right? Solana came down about half and turned around. Same with Cardano, just not as much. Even Algorand just kind of flattened out here and did not have such a big drop. And then we have some actually turning around, like Render coming up. Aave coming up. So yeah, big trading volume when you see the red candles. Big trading volume. That is for sure. So we have the ETF outflows, and we'll see later tonight whether today was a negative day. I'm guessing yes, it is. And so that just means that more and more of these short-term ETF, buyers are like fearful of the price dropping, don't understand crypto, and so they keep selling. So yeah, and Germany over the weekend, yeah, heard that as well. I'm surprised the United States wasn't selling their stash of Bitcoin stolen from the Silk Road stuff. Haven't heard of that, but that'll be the next one, right? Just pile it on. Pile it on. So, meanwhile, Dogecoin falls more than 4% in 24 hours. I think Crypto Bubbles now has, look at this, Bitcoin down 7.4% now over the last 24 hours. Doge at 5.7, Jasmy 5.8, but Bitcoin at 7.4. It's one of the largest declines of the top 100 is Bitcoin. Some of these aren't so bad. I mean, Aave is up, Injective is up, Celestia is up. So a number of them are actually up over the past 24 hours. So that's not too bad. But yeah, Doge down. And of course, volatility and as pointed out, big trading volume as well. When you start seeing those red candles, that happens. But meanwhile, we have this article, Dogecoin, crypto analyst sees massive bounce ahead. Crypto analyst sees massive bounce ahead. Who is bullish on this bounce? Well, it's crypto analyst Kriss. That's right. There's an article about me. I made a video this morning on a massive bounce coming. And these guys at Crypto Globe covered it. And they went into all the detail of all the things that I brought up in the video. I mean, they actually parsed out my video from earlier today. I did a good job. So if you guys haven't seen my massive bounce video from this morning, you can watch it. But you can also check out cryptoglobe.com, and read their interpretation of my video. Yes. Yeah, I'm not a renowned crypto analyst on this platform. I'm just a regular crypto analyst. But kind of interesting, right? Crypto analyst. So there we go. There we are. And so, yeah, this will be on here forever now. Not bad. But yeah, that got into everything pretty much that I said. They outlined it pretty well. They probably had ChatGPT go in there and said, do a summary of this video, right? And then ChatGPT writes it all out and they just print it. Takes them all of like 10 seconds. That's the world we live in today, right? Good old ChatGPT. But I am still bullish on crypto. I am still bullish on Dogecoin. I do believe that's going to happen. Just as I've said again and again over the past number of weeks, it's not happening today. It's not happening tomorrow. It's not happening this week, right? We look at the bigger picture. Again, look at the Raul Paul video that I made over the weekend, and you'll see we got to just survive the summer, guys. We got to survive the summer. And some days it's harder than others. Today's not a great day. But don't be stupid. Dogecoin could reach $17. I mean, come on. $17 Dogecoin. We are in the middle of a pullback. And somebody is posting about Dogecoin's going to reach $17. I mean, come on. That's a little crazy. So, hey, believe what you want to believe. I'll continue to be the renowned crypto analyst that tries to keep it real. That's what I do. That's what I do. The big picture. MAGs. Bitcoin daily RSI just entered the oversold zone for the fourth time since the 15.5K bottom. So here's the RSI down here at the bottom. Oversold. Yes. Late November, early December 2022. That was the FTX crash that we had. But then going into 2023, Bitcoin traded up, but then had a pullback end of February, early March. And on that pullback, as Bitcoin fell below 20K, the RSI went back into oversold. So again, a higher bottom. What did Bitcoin do? Traded up higher to 30K at a pullback. This was in like August 2023. Bottomed out at like 25K, oversold. And now here we are again in the next oversold on the RSI, Relative Strength Index. And Bitcoin's at 60,000. And we are still looking at, well, we'll get to that pattern in a minute. I don't have that other chart up. The bigger picture of where this goes from here. Looking at the 4-year cycles. And again, I've showed that chart again and again. I was going to show it again. I don't have it lined up here. Which is, again, 4-year cycles. 200K is the target for Bitcoin through the rest of 2024 into 2025. So this is a pullback here. 58,000 bottom for Bitcoin. Could be. So this is the pattern. Looks like one hit top. Reverse head and shoulders, right? Now we're doing the other shoulder. Classic reverse head and shoulders. The shoulder, though, is going lower right now. So we look on the Bitcoin chart. Yeah, that shoulder has come lower, right? And then this is what it looks like for you reverse head and shoulder people. This was the dip down to, what did that hit? That was actually below 57,000 on the 1st of May. So if this stops here, it's actually pretty close. This would be it. Complete reverse head and shoulders pattern playing out on the daily for Bitcoin. So that's what we're looking at. 120,000 by August. Bull run is very bullish. I'm not that bullish for the rest of the summer, but we'll see. I'm not that bullish for the summer, though. As Bitcoin drops to 58.8. Ouch. So that's the lowest it's been since 1st of May, 58.8. Which drops Doge to 1149. But again, this morning it actually dropped to 1137. Yeah, Dronico, we're just dipping below 11.5 now. Will we see 10-cent Doge? I don't know. How long is this sell-off going to happen? How long are we going to see the prices push down? It's not looking good right now. We can catch up with the chat that's going on up here. Why is Doge so volatile? This is all Bitcoin driven. That's why. There's nothing particular about Dogecoin that's causing this price decrease. This is all on the backs of Bitcoin. Bitcoin down 7% now for the day, over 7%. That doesn't happen that often. Yeah, I like Jason's thing. Let Bitcoin fall and have Doge take over. Exactly. Unfortunately, it all kind of goes together. Yeah, I don't think Dogecoin was ever on Mt. Gox. I think when they got hacked, I don't think they had Dogecoin listed. So, yeah. Yeah, will it drop below 11 cents? Again, how low is Bitcoin going to go? 58.6 now for Bitcoin. And it's still dropping, guys. Yes, the renowned crypto analyst. Thank you. XRP didn't crash harder. What is XRP doing? 46 cents. Yeah, it's crashing now. Now it's down 3.5% as opposed to Doge's 6.5%. So comparatively, XRP isn't falling as fast as Doge, but we know Doge does that. But still, XRP just not doing well overall. The journalists love the packs. Yeah. I thought it was a good video too, Jason. I thought this morning's video was a good one. Is Tron acting like a stable coin like XRP? I don't follow Tron. You'll be renowned again when we're all taking record profits. I like the thinking. I like the thinking. I got GPT'd. Yeah. That's what it looks like to me. I mean, if somebody actually went in and watched the video and then typed out what I said, it just, to me, it reads more like a chat GPT summary. Toncoin's moved ahead by 2 billion now. Ooh. Let's check out the latest on coin market cap. Toncoin at 18, Doge at 16.6. So it's 1.4. About 1.4 billion behind now. Dogecoin behind Toncoin. Yeah, look, there's Tron in 11th. Tron has passed Sheeb. It's still green over the past 7 days. Tron. It does look like it's acting more like a stable coin. You're right. Look at that. Yeah, overall in the market, I mean, we still have some. Lido, Dow, Leo, Aave, Injective, Phantom, Ondo, Celestia, even WIF still up over the past 24 hours. Render, Bonk still up. Near holding on. Pith, Fetch. But then we see what the biggest losers are over the past 24 hours. It's Ordi, Uniswap, Gnosis, Bitcoin Cash, Maker, Notcoin. Notcoin's dropping big, 22% for the week. Ouch. And Litecoin. So yeah, that's what we've got overall happening in the market. Everyone's saying Doge is going down, makes me extremely bullish. Buy when others are fearful is the way the game is played. That is true. Yep, dumpster fire across the board. I try not to laugh because I get scolded. What are you laughing for, Chris? This isn't funny. No, it's not. But if you've been watching me, and you're aware of the overall market and what's going on and what's still to come, sometimes you got to laugh at some people's reactions because it's not based on fact. It's not based on truth. It's not based on history. I try and keep it real here, guys. Hey, Bogdan, thank you. What price is Bitcoin going to bounce at? What price is Doge going to bounce at? That's where we're waiting for. So Bitcoin just had its most recent bounce at 58.5. That's right here, 58.5. So we'll see whether that holds. That 58.5 line, right? Sorry, your note is right there. That 58.5 line right there. So we'll see whether that holds. And again, Dogecoin dipped a little lower early this morning to 11.35. Now it just hit 11.40. So we'll go with that 11.40 line right here. And we'll see whether it goes any lower than that. That's what we want to see. So we'll be watching that. And maybe that's the bottom right there for today. We'll see. This Bitcoin, like 2019, pumping 14K, then crashed to 3. Well, that was 2020 when it crashed to 3, and that was the COVID fear when it crashed to 3, and that was March of 2020. So that had a big reason that it crashed. Then it recovered pretty quickly. It got bought up. People were not People were not letting it sit down there. They were buying. For those that don't believe, we can go to the weekly chart and we can go back and see it. And that was right here. So Bitcoin started the year in January 2019 at 3,500, traded up to 12,000, kind of meandered back down by the end of 2019 to about 7,000. Again, this is a 2019 year, so it's the year before the halving, which is typically a reset year. And then starting 2020, Bitcoin was actually trading up over 10,000. And then COVID hit. And that was the drop down to about 3,800 here on the Bitstamp chart here. 3,800. That was that drop. And that was a pretty significant drop. 60%. That was a 60% drop in 2 weeks. That was pretty bad. 2020, though, also had other big drops. Again, this is in a bull market. We had this drop here that was 30%. There's a 30% drop right there that we had. So yes, drops can happen. And here's our reverse head and shoulders. We're going to see whether that plays out for what we got going on with Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin recovering back up over 59K. So we'll see whether that plays out and that becomes the low for the day. I know, it's got to be fun seeing your own name. Exactly. Exactly. It's just one guy, Denise. It's just one guy. And I told Bull Run I didn't like that guy, and now he's showing his true colors and being a real jerk. So I had a feeling about him. Wasn't wrong. Yeah, it's just this one guy. George said the miner selling their Bitcoin. Yeah, I showed it last Friday and then again this morning on the miners. Yep. And then later, the miners aren't selling? Yeah, they are. Their reserves are down. The chart I showed shows the miner reserves are down. You can see it in my video this morning. And when the reserves are down, that means they were selling. So I don't know what George was looking at. X payment news we'll get to in just a minute there, Drip. We'll get to it in just a minute. Yes, shakeout. The shakeout. Shaking out the weak hands. Absolutely. The banana split, right? Is Doge going to 8 cents? I doubt it. Bears will be in big pain soon once Bitcoin hits 120. We'll see. We will see. End of the month options expiry. It's only Monday now, so yep. Buying the dips, Damien. Again, sub 60K. Sub 60K Bitcoin. Hey, Mark, how are you? How successful are you at convincing friends and family to get into crypto? I don't talk to friends and family about getting into crypto. I do not want that responsibility. I talk to you guys about it. I do not talk to my friends and family about getting into crypto. No. If someone finds out about it and they ask me questions about it, I'll be glad to answer questions. But no, I'm not. I'm not convincing people to get into crypto. Yeah, you remember talking about miner selling. I did. I told you in March that the miners would be selling in May. I didn't think it would last into June. I thought we would see it more just in May. I think it's taking some of them a little bit longer to figure out that they're having a hard time making their ends meet, paying their utility payments. So Dogecoin's not going to fail. So that is, I mean, that's it. It's just not going to fail. Yeah, what about Scotty Barnes, huh? He's a rich dude. Of course, he's paying Canadian taxes, right? Played for Toronto. He's a good player. He's a good player. That's for sure. He's just not, he's not at that superstar status, but he's a good player and he's now going to get paid very well. If my family lost money in crypto, I'd get the blame. I've got enough of it on my shoulders that my family knows about. And again, if it all went to zero, I'm still going to be fine. I'm not going to be like destitute, right? I have a lot invested, particularly this cycle. And I have faith in the things that I've bought are not going to zero. So I'm not worried. And again, I'm still a believer in the 4-year cycles and that we're going to be okay. Bohan says, yeah, same here. I never talk to anyone about crypto in my family. Crypto's risky. Don't want to be responsible. Absolutely. Yeah, big sell-off on NVIDIA stock. And there's also some who believe that there are insiders and company people who've been selling after the big run that it went on post-split. So yeah, not surprising that there was a lot of profit taking going on with NVIDIA. Do a trip to the moon? Sure. I mean, a crypto would be over. And we would all just be broke then, right? Right, the dollar will go to zero before crypto does. Dollar just continues to inflate away. So what's going on? Otherwise, we have X payments update. X now has money transmitter licenses in 29 states. That's right, 29 states now. So slowly, state after state after state. It's getting there. It's taking a little longer than we would all like. But what's going on with X payments? And is it really going to launch without Dogecoin or any crypto integration? And again, I've been talking about this since last winter. All of this stuff about X payments. I've been saying, and you can see it in all my past videos, that most likely X payments is going to launch without crypto. They're going to do it with fiat because it's easier to start. It's easier to do it with fiat and then add crypto integration later. So now people are hearing this and they're like, oh, there's going to be no Dogecoin. It's like, yep, no Dogecoin to start with. That doesn't mean they don't add it later or somehow incorporate crypto in some manner, because I still believe Elon's going to do that, but just not right at the start. And I've been saying that for months, and it's in all my videos. You can go back and you can see them. But now people are freaking out. They're hearing it for the first time. And I'm just like, what can I say, right? What can I say? But yes, despite speculation fueled by Elon Musk's vocal support for Dogecoin, regulatory documents indicate that Musk's plans for a payment service do not currently include digital tokens. And that's correct. They need to get these money transmitter licenses in place first. Some of the money transmitter licenses, like the one in Rhode Island, is 2-in-1. It's both fiat and digital, all in one. So they do have Rhode Island, but they're not applying in other states that have a separate application process for crypto. They're not doing those applications right now. So, and I pointed this out like 6 months ago and said, so this is pointing to, they just want to get this thing working first. I also said, I thought it would be easier if they did crypto instead of fiat, because they wouldn't have to deal with exchange rates between different currencies, between the euro and the dollar and the peso and, you know, all of these other currencies in all these different countries. It would just be crypto. And especially if it was just Dogecoin, you know, 1 Doge equals 1 Doge, right? No matter what country you live in, it would just be Doge. And I thought overall that would be easier to do on the back end because they don't have to deal with all of these different currencies. But that would be really hard to pull off from the start. And I get that. So they're going to start with fiat. X Payments is expected to offer a service similar to Venmo and Zelle, providing a new way for users to handle payments on the platform. But again, it's going to be in your local currency, whatever country you're from, is how they're going to do it. We'll see how it all works. But that's the story. We'll get into my story time in a little bit. Right now, we're seeing if this is indeed a recovery here. This is Bitcoin and this is Dogecoin. And we are seeing, in the short term at least, a little bit of a recovery. So let's see if this goes up higher while we're on the stream. See how this goes. Bullrun says, we are at the bottom right now, guys. Only up from here. No worries. Mars, you think so too? That fiat first and crypto later? Eric's very optimistic about Doge. Maybe a little too much there, Mr. Begston. But hey. I know. Exactly, Niels. Different currency rates, having to deal with all the exchange rates between all the different countries, where instead, if you just had it as Doge, one Doge is one Doge. That's it. Hey, Armando, how are you? This is my first bull run. What's happening? So let's look at the 4-year cycles again. And this has happened before. Again, this is way zoomed out, but in the year of halvings, 2012, 2016, 2020, we've always had pullbacks. Pullbacks have always happened during halving years. And this is a halving year, 2024. The all-time highs don't hit for each 4-year cycle until the year after the halving. So we are in the halving year, 2024. 2025 is projected to be the next all-time high. Even though Bitcoin already exceeded its all-time high from the previous cycle from back in 2021, it eclipsed that in March of 2024 before the halving. Yes, but that doesn't mean that that is the all-time high for this cycle. And if you watch my Raw Paul video that I made yesterday, talks about the banana zone, talks about the global liquidity, the cycles of that, as well as the US presidential election, which happens every 4 years. It just all coincides with an increase in liquidity, quantitative easing, probably interest rate cuts, all happening this fall. There's nothing that says the crypto market is going to crash this fall. It's all looking positive, and that would be price go up in 2025, starting in 2024. Yes. And that's what we've had in previous cycles. 2020, the last 3 months of 2020 were just epic. There's no reason to think that 2024 can't do the same thing. So that's what we're waiting for. That's what I'm waiting for. So welcome to your first bull run. Don't get shaken out. Don't get shaken out. Low roller, what do you think? Trump's no tip for taxes? I think that's great. I don't know what it would include. I didn't get into the details of all of that and what constitutes a tip or not a tip. If that gets written into the code next year sometime, if Trump is indeed elected, we'll see then. But for now, it's just like, this is really more about people who really rely on tips as a major part of their income. You know, restaurant waiters and waitresses, for the most part, kind of are at the top of the list. I think that'd be a good thing. That would be a good thing for them. Doge will get up to 70 cents when X integrates it. That's a good target. Ina, how are you? Just kind of weathering the storm right now. Don't like it that Dogecoin is in the 11s. I didn't think Bitcoin would drop below 60,000 again, but here we are. So it's not so much, you said it wasn't going to drop below. Well, instead of blaming me, think about, well, what are you going to do about it? What's your plan, right? You think it's going to go lower? Don't ask me. I mean, I don't know. I don't know the future. right? I look at the charts and I look at the news. I didn't anticipate we'd have 5 days in a row of over $100 million worth of Bitcoin being sold by BlackRock, Fidelity, ARK on behalf of their customers. All those paper-handed ETF holders who are selling, I didn't anticipate that the miner selling would be happening in June. I thought it would all be done in May, but it looks like it's spreading into June. And then this whole Mt. Gox thing, it just continues to get delayed and delayed and delayed. Is it actually going to happen this year? I don't know, but certainly the fear of, hundreds of millions of dollars of Bitcoin being sold is enough to spook the market and cause a dip. But these things happen. Every cycle, these things happen. So that's why we had dips in all these previous cycles as well. Stuff happens. Numbers don't always go up. So what are you going to do about it? Doge might hit 7 cents. You never know, Stephen. I'm not going to say it's absolutely not, because I have no guarantee that that isn't going to happen. I don't think it's going to drop that low. That would be Bitcoin going back down to like 40K. Is Bitcoin going to go down to 40,000? I don't think so. Totally normal. Exactly. Price of admission is volatility. This is crypto. If this volatility gets you freaked out, just buy stocks, right? Just invest in the stock market. Exactly, Proxy. Welcome to the roller coaster that's crypto. Yeah, that's what I think so, Lord Drip. X payments will be introduced with fiat, and crypto will most likely come later. Shaking the tree. Shaking out your crypto. You're in your third bull run. This is my second. Yes, and Germany's selling. We mentioned that before, Splash. Yep. Those BTC ETF boomers are worse than the meme coin sheets. Panic selling. I would like to think the dip is complete here, Mars, but we'll watch it. We'll watch it. That's why I marked it here on both the Bitcoin chart and the Doge chart here. So I've marked it thinking, okay, that's it. Now we go up from here. Yeah, what did Michael Saylor buy Bitcoin for last week? He could have gotten it at a much better price if he was buying this week. And all of that buying by him for MicroStrategy, price still went down. So even he couldn't keep the price up. I've been talking patience for a long time. I have it. You're welcome. Don't we usually see this much volatility? Yep, it is. Corporations selling off to show profits. Not so much in crypto. That isn't a crypto thing. That is more of a stock thing. There are not a lot of corporations holding crypto on their books. And if they do, they're not using it to sell to show profits. No. It's my second bull run, but I have a strong conviction. Yes, I do. Because I lived through the first one, held all through it. And I was like, okay, that's how you learn. Bought Doge in 2019. It wasn't a pretty ride until it took off. Right, it took off, and then it peeled all the way back, just about all the way down to 5 cents. Let's go. Southport had a 12.9-cent order filled. Yeah, that happens. Yeah, and this one is kind of mild. We had like 30% pullbacks. 2020, 2021. Best lesson you learned was to not panic buy. Learning how to read charts, Jose, exactly. And I always have the charts up. And that's how I learned last bull run, was just doing charts. Now, I had done charts before with stocks, but the crypto chart's a little different. See what happened in stocks, how they ended up. Tesla ended up down a little bit, 0.25%. Little dip here right at the end of trading today for Tesla stock. GameStop as well. Little dip at the end. Tried to recover there in the last 5 minutes. But yeah, not much going on. We didn't hear from Roaring Kitty today. We don't know what's going on with GameStop. AMC actually was up a little bit with a late run, over 4.5 cents or $4.50, I mean, but not too much change. And then the other ones to watch are MicroStrategy, just big down this morning. And NVIDIA, big sell-off today on NVIDIA, down 6.5%. And in after-hours trading, it's already down another percent. This is now one of the largest companies in the world. And if it's losing 7% of its value in a day, that's huge. That is huge. But there it is. We could see NVIDIA pull back to like $100 a share. Again, this is post the stock split when it was up over 1,000. We'll see how that plays out. Some stocks aren't as safe, but most of them are, because they actually make things, right? They're making products. And as companies make products, right, they make profits, they have earnings. You can really judge every 3 months how a company is doing. With crypto, yeah, little harder to do that. That's the difference between stocks and crypto. Every 3 months, companies have to print their earnings, have their earnings calls, talk about profits and losses. Fire Legend is bearish. Yeah, you can't think about that, Perrin. Should have sold. Yeah, you can't think like that. You made a decision when Dogecoin went up in March towards 22 cents to not sell at that time. That was the best decision you made at the time. And now that it's down, now you have to decide, what are you going to do here? Are you going to buy more at this price? You can buy almost twice as many Doge at this price than at 22 cents. Lower your average if you have a high average. It's not bad. It's an opportunity, some would think. This is pretty much why the exchange love leverage. You get a 10% dip on a 10x long, lose all your money. Exactly. And the exchanges also like it because there's a lot more trading that goes on. The volume spikes up and they get all those fees on all those trades, which is more for them. The leverage keeps them from suffering losses. the fees on trading, profit, just booking profit. Grabbed 20,000 at 11.9. And we'll be back up over 11.9. 120,000 for Bitcoin. Okay, bull run. What happened to Roaring Kitty? I don't know. I think he had a plan, whether he wanted to be on the board of directors of GameStop or not, whatever it was. But with those options, he had a plan. And when the price at GameStop went crazy, before that plan had a chance to really play itself out, GameStop did this big share offering. So I think that messed up his plan. I don't think he'll admit it. I think it messed up his plan. Yeah, the Roaring Kitty stream was a bit bizarre. That's for sure. It was bizarre. All right, a couple stories. First is coin stats. So one thing I've been talking about on this channel, particularly since last December, when we were talking about taxes, is how you keep track of all the crypto you buy and sell, right? How do you keep track of everything? So what I do is, let me get to my, so this is what I do, is I have a spreadsheet. And on a spreadsheet, I keep track of all of my purchases. And I do it on a spreadsheet. And also my sells and my transfers and all that. This is just the copy of, This is just the copy of the Kriss DCA portfolio spreadsheet. So this is all of the purchases that we made last summer, of which was buying crypto every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, DCAing of where I thought we were at the bottom of the bear market for these alts. Again, we were buying, Dogecoin in August and September at 6.2, 5.9, 6.1, 6.0, 5.8. So we were buying all of this Doge at these nice low prices. And of course, Jasmine, we were buying at 0.0034. We were buying Bitcoin, 25,000. XRP we're down on because XRP is lower now than it was when we were buying it. Same with Matic. But ETH we were buying at 1,600. Algorand we were buying at 10 cents. Litecoin, we're almost back even on Litecoin now. Sheeb, Render. So, but the point of this is every purchase that I make, and this is just the Kriss DCA portfolio, I have my own spreadsheet for all my own portfolio purchases, and I keep track of my own crypto. There are these third-party companies where you can attach your wallet and they will track everything in your wallets for you. CoinStats is one of these companies. Well, guess what? They got attacked. And over 1,500 wallets worth over $2 million drained because wallets were attached to these coin tracking companies. Well, this is the one that got hacked. And we talked about that last December too. I remember that, where I was saying, I don't trust them and I'm not attaching my wallet to anything. I am not attaching my wallet to any third-party anything anymore. Not doing it. So I use my spreadsheets. So anybody asking questions about how to keep track of what you bought, what you sold, what your profit is, I know spreadsheets can be a pain in the ass, and some of you might not be really good at it, but it's the best way. It's the best way. You can't rely on the exchanges to make sure everything is right. I mean, if Robinhood is the only place you buy and sell crypto, you never move anything off, right? You never transfer anything. And that's all you do, you're probably okay. But as soon as you transfer off to like a hardware wallet, then that exchange loses track of that crypto and will not give you the correct 1099 form for all of your crypto. So I've bought and sold crypto on Robinhood. I've bought and sold crypto on Coinbase. I get 1099s from them. They just are a background, a backdrop to what I actually use to track all of my purchases and sales, which are the spreadsheets. That's what I do. And I know it's a pain in the ass, especially if you do a lot of trading. But how else are you going to know what your profit is when you eventually sell your crypto? How are you going to know? You got to keep track of it somehow. If you attach to one of these third-party companies, you face the risk of getting drained. I'm not doing that. And again, I believe I said this last December when we were talking about tracking your crypto. There's a number of third-party companies that offer this service, and I'm like, nope, not doing it. Yeah, Ina, we saw it. I showed it earlier. Crypto Globe. Crypto analyst sees massive bounce ahead. Crypto analyst Kriss Pax. Yeah, we talked about it earlier in the chat. Yep. They covered my video here from this morning. It's like awesome. And they have a link to it too, which is great. For those that don't know who I am and they're reading this article, they can just click on it. Awesome. Love it. Love it. All right, so that's that story. But story time, the real story time, again, it's all in the vein of being careful, was this guy who posted on Reddit, almost got scammed today. Watch out, fellow coiners. I got a call today from the bank about a fraud charge at a Target in my name. They spoofed my bank's customer service line number to call me and act as a rep for them. Somehow he had personal information about me on file already, had the social security number, freaked him out. Once he heard Coinbase, he got way too excited, kept mentioning it, asking if I used any other apps like Cash App or PayPal to pay for stuff. He managed to shut my email down and my bank account, saying it was a full refresh to prevent future scams. He also asked me to reset my Coinbase password and use a temp pass that he would provide. Yeah, screw that. Hung up on him, changed all my passwords. Be careful out there. Be careful out there. A lot of scammers out there. Again, two-factor authentication on everything. Do everything you can to be safe and secure. It's one thing to make money in crypto. It's more important to keep your crypto. That's more important, is keeping your crypto. There's so many scammers out there trying to steal your crypto. So be careful out there. That is story time for today. Doge up to 1173. So we are having a bit of recovery here. Now time for the Magic 8 Ball. Does anybody have a question for Magic 8 Ball today? Magic 8 Ball. How's the Magic 8 Ball doing today? Pretty good. Anybody have any questions? Let me know. Let me know. Bitcoin at 59,598. So yeah, a little bit of recovery as well going on with Bitcoin. Look at Algorand is back up in the green. So not everything is falling off the table. They have to be yes or no questions. Edugare. Have to be yes or no questions for the Magic 8 Ball. What else is going up? The VThor token is going up. Nice. Render still going up. The graph. Aave had a run earlier today, now flattening out, but it's up. So yeah, we've got a lot up. Fetch. The big AI merger's coming next week, I think it is. I think it's on Monday. Fetch, Singularity, and Ocean. Magic 8 Ball. Do you think Dogecoin is going up in the fall? Do you think Dogecoin is going up in the fall? That is the question for today for the Magic 8 Ball. Let me put the chat, or put the chart back up on the Doge. Dogecoin going up in the fall. Magic 8 Ball says. My Magic 8 Ball has been, they come up on the sides and I'm like, come on, flatten out. Here we go. I would say yes. I would say yes. Magic 8 Ball. I would say yes. How about that? Yep. Yep. Signs point to yes, the Magic 8 Ball says. How about that? For the next Magic 8 Ball questions, remember, it's a yes or no question. Hey, Lee from Myrtle Beach. Hope it's not too hot down there. We finally cooled off a little bit here in Boston. Last week, we were up 98 degrees 3 days in a row. It was hot. Are we in a left translated cycle? So that's interesting. There are many who believe it, but again, through this fall, we still have this whole global liquidity thing to play out. So, I mean, that doesn't change. The US election in November doesn't change. So, but it could mean that the all-time high we're talking about in 2025 could be earlier in the year as opposed to later in the year. Maybe. I mean, the Bitcoin spot ETFs kind of pushed the price appreciation forward a bit. But that also means that things play out longer too. Don't know. Three years bearish, 3 months bullish? Not really. Not if you look at the charts. Well, for Doge, maybe, because Doge does go up on shorter periods of time, but not Bitcoin. Moonhawk says, should have bought gold. I don't think so. I mean, look, Bitcoin is still up 40% for the year. Gold isn't. It all depends on when you buy. Now, if you're talking about the last few days, yeah, if you bought gold 3 days ago, okay, you're doing better with gold than Bitcoin or Doge. But how's that going to look a year from now? Your gold is still going to be around what it is today. What's Bitcoin and Dogecoin going to be worth a year from now? So you just look at the bigger picture. That's what I do. You can't concentrate on the last few days and just say, I should have done this. Or, I mean, did you buy Dogecoin 3 days ago? Did you buy Bitcoin 3 days ago? So that's what you have to ask yourself. You bought it 16 cents, Moonhawk? Yeah, I was buying at 15.3. That was my last big purchase of Doge, was at 15.3. Am I upset about it? No, everything that I was looking at the time pointed to me like that was the dip. Here we are lower. Again, all of these things we talked about earlier have led to this. This is where we are right now. Yeah, hoping this is a solid reversal here. It certainly felt like it when it happened just a little bit ago. When it dropped down here, it's like this is when I circled both on the Dogecoin chart and the Bitcoin chart, because it felt to me like, okay, that feels like a bottom, a local bottom, but we'll see. We'll see. Again, a lot of liquidations. It looks like now we're getting a lot of shorts starting to get liquidated, because these are all probably new short positions that just got created as the price was going down, with gamblers betting the price was still going to go down and they were just going to hop on and maybe get some extra profits on shorting. And instead, prices are turning around and going back up. So these shorts are now getting liquidated. That's what's happening right now. They're not very big ones, though. I mean, here's one for $18,000 for ETH, another $14,000 for ETH. But I'm guessing these were ones that were just created because the price hasn't gone up that much, but enough to liquidate those shorts. Gamblers, got a lot of gamblers betting on the price going up, betting on the price going down. Personally, I don't touch leverage. I don't touch shorting. Over the long term, it has just been shown that if you DCA and hold, follow the 4-year cycles, you'll do better. You'll do a lot better. Every once in a while, you might hit a big bet on a leveraged long or a short. You get that euphoria, look how much money I made here. And then you go to your next bet and then you lose it all. It's been shown time and time and time again that that's what happens. So be careful out there. Love it when the bears get wrecked. Absolutely. Overall, the bears have been winning the past week. Prices are down. I get it. When is Dogecoin going to get over 30 cents? Probably this fall. Probably in the fall. It's gambling better to just own the underlying asset. Well, in crypto, it's cryptocurrency. So in cryptocurrency investing, it is kind of a gamble. I mean, it's risky, right? We don't know what's going to happen. It is risky. Again, only put into crypto what you're willing to risk, though. I mean, even Elon said, don't bet the farm on it, right? It's just like, because you don't know. And as we've seen, the stupidest little things can cause big corrections and pullbacks. It can happen. It's just the fear of something. I mean, Mt. Gox hasn't sold anything. We're the people who had all of that Bitcoin on Mt. Gox. They haven't sold anything. All that Bitcoin is still there, but yet we see this big price drop. The fear of something that may or may not happen is enough to drop the price. But that's how markets go. So, yeah. One Doge equals one Doge. That's right. Same with Bitcoin, but I never hear anyone say, oh, one Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin. That's it. That's a Dogecoin thing. We'll keep it with Doge. One Doge equals one Doge. I hope the bulls will stop leveraging for a little. I'll bet there's leverage trades being made right now. Big leverage trades are being made right now. People thinking, okay, this is the bottom. This is recovery. I'm going to do a big leverage long here. It's going to go up to this price and I'm going to sell 5x, 10x leverage. Woohoo, I'm going to be rich. Okay. But you know it's happening. And instead, this thing could just turn around, drop lower, liquidate them. Because we've seen it again and again and again. Again, I'm not selling any of my crypto until late this fall at the earliest. Letting this whole cycle play out longer. See what happens through the fall. Do we have a rate cut? How's the global liquidity looking? What's happening with inflation? What's happening with the US presidential elections? Let it play out. And we'll all be here talking about it as it's happening. But yeah, let it play out. Patience. Those were my recent videos too that I had too, right? What did I have on my videos? I had, will the Dogecoin price recover in June? That's still a maybe. That's still a maybe. We had the calm before the storm. And then we had on the live stream, it was the Dogecoin waiting game, right? What's the next move? We're waiting. We'll get through it. But yeah, this is looking like a reversal here. Back up to 11.8 now. Price prediction for the end of the fall. What did I say? I don't even remember now. my January year-long price prediction for Doge. I'll have to go back and look at that again because I don't remember. Here we're almost halfway through the year, and I don't remember what I had predicted for the year end. I don't remember now. I got to go look at that. Yeah, we're almost at the halfway point. Maybe I'll have to do a video on that. Halfway through the year, this is where we are. But then I thought we'd be up around, what, 18, 19 cents at the end of June, and we went the other way. So was not correct for this month. I was spot on for May, but not for June. Just buy and forget about it, come back at the end of the year. Yeah, but we follow it on a daily basis here. And we talk about what's going on in the news. And some of you are looking to buy in at lower prices, buy the dips. So we look at that. But we also try and stay on top of the news as well. And then we got a lot of new people coming in all the time into crypto. So I don't mind talking about repeating the 4-year cycles, my plan, outlook, things like that. Don't mind it. As long as we keep getting reversals, price go back up, we're good. You're addicted to the crypto charts? Yeah. I have them on all the time. They're always on. First thing I do in the morning is look at the chart. Yep. That's what I do. All right, gang, that's what we've got for today. Hey, thanks for tuning in. I'll be live again on Wednesday, again, starting sometime between 4 and 5 o'clock. And we'll see where we are then. I don't know if we're going to retest back below 11 cents or not, Mike. I don't know. Right now, it's looking like we've got a sense of recovery going. So we'll be watching that tonight. I'll have a video coming out probably a little later tomorrow. Busy in the morning. And then hopefully we'll see you all on Wednesday for the next live stream. And from Kriss Pack's crypto analyst to all of you, hope you're well, and we'll see you next time.
Dogecoin, which started as a complete joke, has like skyrocketed to not a joke anymore. It hit an all-time high of almost 10 cents yesterday, but it was so minuscule you wouldn't have understood why you have millions of shares.
Didn't Elon tweet that too?
And arguably, the most entertaining outcome and the most ironic outcome would be that Dogecoin becomes the currency of Earth in the future.